Welcome to Manchester United Daily Updates. Before continuing this video, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Marcus Rashford swap deal option as £64 million Man United transfer target becomes available. Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain could entertain a potential swap deal during the January transfer window with Rashford Kolo Muani now available. Manchester United target Rashford Kolo Muani is expected to leave Paris Saint-Germain in January. The Frenchman, who joined PSG from Eintracht Frankfurt for £64.2 million plus add-ons in September 2023, has started just 3 League One matches this season and was left out of the squad for their trip to Monaco on Wednesday. PSG boss Luis Enrique recently hinted at a possible winter departure for Kolo Muani, stating, "I could speak about it, but I won't because my decisions say it all. Even if, as I have said, all of my decisions can be changed." And now, according to Fabrizio Romano, a January move for Kolo Muani is almost guaranteed. United, who have not been free-flowing in front of goal, could look to pounce on Kolo Muani's availability and sign him. The Reds have been linked with a move for the 26-year-old forward in the past, and he could add another dimension to the United attack with his pace, dribbling, and finishing ability. While Kolo Muani could make the switch to Old Trafford, Marcus Rashford might move in the opposite direction. A potential swap deal has been mooted by some, with Rashford's future uncertain after the England international claimed that he is ready to leave United in an interview on Tuesday. "For me, personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps," Henry Winter quotes Rashford as saying. "When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me." PSG have been linked with a move for Rashford. In fact, the French club tried to sign him at the end of the 2022-23 season before he committed his future to United and signed a new contract. Rashford's comments came after he was left out of the United squad to face Manchester City last weekend. Ruben Amorim then made the decision not to include him in the travelling contingent to take on Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, and it remains to be seen whether he'll feature against Bournemouth on Sunday. Carlos Fernandes gave the perfect reply to what Manchester United need to do under Ruben Amorim. Look beyond the 13th place status, 3 defeats and League Cup elimination. Man United are a better side and progressing under Ruben Amorim. A Manchester United fan was staying in the same hotel as the team in Plzen, 300 meters away from the stadium. On the morning of the game, they entered the Marriott Courtyard lift at the same time as Ruben Amorim's assistant, Carlos Fernandes. "We have to stop those crosses coming in," the fan quipped. "A contact in Portugal assured me that Amorim is prone to jokes during press conferences, and his assistant evidently shares a similar sense of humor." Unfortunately, Fernandes did not stop Amorim from selecting United's backup goalkeeper at Tottenham. Son Heung-min's winning goal, direct from a corner, cannot be pinned on Fernandes, now tasked with overseeing United's defensive and attacking set-piece drills. It was rather cruel of Tottenham to replay the goal on the quartet of giant screens, yet Altay Bayındır required a dose of reality after he had the gall to claim he was fouled. United practiced set-piece defending during pre-match warm-ups. None of the crosses floated in by Christian Eriksen doubled for attempts at goal, but that may have to be added to the drills. In Amorim's rotation policy of trial and error, Bayındır was very much the latter. He has already played 3 times as many games as last season, under 3 different managers, and it would be a mistake to give him a 4th outing. Amorim did not entertain a desperate query about a possible foul by Lucas Bergvall. For a manager who answers at length, he gave the question such short shrift his answer was uncharacteristically curt. Erik ten Hag would have latched onto the excuse. Ten Hag became increasingly delusional and dependent on what he perceived to be refereeing errors, to the extent that he denied the 3-0 thumping by Tottenham in September as Bruno Fernandes' red card was overturned on appeal. "I already said in Portugal, of course my career is really small, but I never speak about referees," Amorim clarified. "I will not start now. I will try to maintain that for a long time." United have a more authoritative orator in the manager's chair. It was 9 weeks ago that Ten Hag excused Matthijs de Ligt's enforced absence for touchline treatment as it was dry blood on his crown. it was a bloodbath for Ten Hag 9 days later. Results-wise, Amorim has had a mixed start with 4 wins, 3 defeats and a draw. It is 1 down and 2 to go on the trophy front, and United face an ominous FA Cup tie at Arsenal next month. Already, the season could hinge on the eminently winnable Europa League. Look beyond the losses and the 13th place status in the Premier League, and United are undeniably improving. They looked alive whenever Fraser Forster had a dead ball kick at Tottenham, and 2 of their 3 goals were through pressing. Transfer News Live. Man United confirm first signing. Contact made for Rashford, Liverpool exit. Manchester United looks set for another active transfer window, while Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea could also be busy as Premier League sides take the opportunity to improve their teams. The countdown to Christmas is on, but Premier League managers will be waiting for their presents to arrive little over 1 week later. The January transfer window opens in just 12 days, and there is no shortage of business to be conducted. For the moment, Marcus Rashford's future is catching the headlines. The Manchester United forward wants to leave Old Trafford, and the club are happy to facilitate his exit in January or beyond. Ruben Amorim has suggested he would like to retain the 27-year-old's services, and already it has become apparent that suitors may have trouble financing a deal. United's new boss also may want some players of his own to arrive next month. Liverpool, meanwhile, could see Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold open talks with other clubs. The trio are set to enter the final 6 months of their contracts, and Real Madrid are said to be increasingly confident of landing the latter. Chelsea are flying high and could mount a serious title challenge, but exits are more likely at Stamford Bridge. Ben Chilwell and Carney Chukwuemeka may hope for new destinations to earn playing time. Arsenal are seeing no shortage of links to a new forward, and Manchester City could yet eye someone to fill the giant hole left by Rodri after a disastrous run of form. With new managers at Southampton and Wolves, there is set to be transfer activity throughout the table. 3 clubs eye Rashford. Marcus Rashford is being chased by Saudi Arabian trio Al Ittihad, Al Ahly and Al Qadsiya, reports claim, after Manchester United reportedly greenlit an exit for the one-away forward. Rashford is set to dominate much of the transfer talk in January, after giving a bombshell interview confirming his desire for a new challenge away from Old Trafford. It came after boss Ruben Amorim left him out of the matchday squad entirely as his teammates secured a 2-1 win over rivals Manchester City last week. Rashford was also excluded from the United squad that travelled to London this week for a 4-3 defeat against Tottenham in the Carabao Cup, and his future at Old Trafford now looks bleak to say the least. Saudi interest in Rashford was reported by The Telegraph earlier this week, and now TalkSport have specified 3 of the clubs who are eager to make a move. The report says Al Ahly, who boasts stars like ex-Liverpool striker Roberto Firmino and former Brentford forward Ivan Toney, hold the most concrete interest, while Al Qadsiya and Al Ittihad have been eager to sign Rashford in the past and are monitoring the situation. Tottenham star handed loan advice. Leicester star Facundo Buonanot has Old Sirs ace Alejo Veliz to join the Foxes to learn from Jamie Vardy. Transfer News Live. Man United sanction Rashford swap deal as Chelsea splash the cash. Premier League clubs are finalizing their plans for a busier-than-usual January transfer window. Many teams are in desperate need of reinforcements after a tough start to the top-flight season. Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United and Tottenham have all had relative underperformances this term. All 3 will need to improve their ranks if they are to drastically improve in the second half of the campaign. Despite exceeding all expectations, Liverpool and Chelsea may benefit from an extra boost to give them an even better chance of winning the league. January has been a relatively quiet month for the Premier League's big hitters in recent seasons, but it seems extremely unlikely that will be the case this time around. 1 in, 1 out at Tottenham. Tottenham will reportedly welcome the return of Alejo Veliz after an unsuccessful loan spell at Espanyol. But Spanish outlet AS claim that while Veliz's exit is practically closed, another Spurs starlet could go in the opposite direction. That man is midfielder Lucas Bergvall, who could receive regular starts in La Liga, but it remains to be seen whether the Swede would be interested in leaving North London already, even on loan. Pep Guardiola hints at Manchester City transfer. Pep Guardiola has suggested that Manchester City may have to do business in January, a rare change from their transfer strategy. City are 1-0 down to Aston Villa at halftime and have struggled since Rodri picked up a season-long injury, which may force the club into action. Teams don't sell, maybe it has to be players who don't play, Guardiola explained. They don't want to sell and they are so expensive. It depends on the market and we'll see. It's simple. Get players back. Except Rodri. We have the squad there and after that maybe we'll have the team that we were. We were not able to solve it. We've spoken about doing something and if it's in winter it's if we need it or if we can really find something. Not for just 4 or 5 months. In the winter it is more difficult to do. We'll see. I don't know how many times we've got into the winter market. Maybe just Aymeric Laporte 7 years ago. We're not a big fan of that, but the circumstances of this season have been special. We have to see if something is possible and if not we will wait until the summertime. How we finish the season, how the players perform, knowing we've got short holidays. We'll talk and see what is possible in the market. Rashford Kolo Muani puts Prem clubs on alert. Paris Saint-Germain are prepared to let striker Rashford Kolo Muani leave in January. Fabrizio Romano claims that his exit is considered guaranteed after being left out of Luis Enrique's squad of late. Tottenham and Manchester United have been among the English sides linked. They will undoubtedly be keeping a close eye on his situation.